Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. We have Michael Jr. with us this morning. I'm so excited. He's a comedian, actor, and now he's an author. And we're going to talk about his latest book. Michael Jr., how's it going this morning?
It is going amazing, tremendous, awesome, really, really well. I feel great. I think I got a pinched nerve somewhere up in here. Other than that, I feel awesome, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to say here, I'm so excited to see the sun. We had a big day yesterday of storms, so it's always nice to see the sunshine after the storms.
Yeah, it sounds like a book.
Yeah,
Right
that could
after
be
the
your next
storm.
title. Sunshine
Yeah,
after the
well, not my
storm.
book. That doesn't sound like a book I would write, but it
Oh,
could be good
your
for
the name of
somebody.
your book is Funny How Life Works.
Yes, funny how life works. I'm super excited about having written this book. I've never read a book before, so this will be fun to see how people respond. And I don't know how to spell, so I can't wait to see. It is funny how life works. No. I'm excited about the book. It's the first book that I've authored in such a way. I wrote a kid's book some years ago, but this is like a book. It's not an adult book. I want to say that, but it's not like for adults. It's not that type of book. But I think
Yeah.
people will really enjoy it. Some stories from me being a comedian on stage and some stories from my life. And we leverage those stories in such a way that they can make a deposit into the people who will I think it'll make a deposit into the reader in a really cool way that will cause them to want to do some fun stuff and some life-changing things as well.
Yeah, so I've been reading the book. I haven't quite finished it yet. Don't
Oh,
grade me on that, but I've been reading. But I do like it
what you
because you
read?
give these little hints, like these little nuggets, so to speak. Like you tell a story about your life, things that have happened, and then you give us this really interesting like insight, which I love that. Was that on purpose? Did you plan that?
Yes. So the reason we strategically called it "Funny How Life Works" because when people laugh, their hearts are open, but then we can also make a deposit into them as well. So I purposely made it funny because that's kind of what I do. But then also I wanted to do just more than make people laugh. I wanted them also to think a little bit and really put them in a position. I just wanted to help people help people. And if you really want to know what your purpose is in life, it's really about helping and serving other people. So why not use comedy to do exactly that?
Yeah. Talking about comedy, you've been on the Tonight Show, Oprah, Jimmy Kimmel, but your very first, so to speak, comedy in your book you talk about was at a theater, and that's when they had a
Yeah,
malfunction with the
yeah.
movie. I thought that was so fascinating. What gave you the courage at that moment to just walk in front of everybody and say, "Oh well, that's it today"? What was your line? Something like, "That's it, that show's over," something like that.
Yeah, so I just walked up. Just as a note, I wasn't on Oprah. I
Oh,
mean,
you weren't on Oprah.
the
Okay,
show,
sorry.
but not the no, the show, not the person. It just sounded weird the way you said
Oh,
it. I just wanted to
sorry.
don't talk. I'm just playing. It's comedy. I'm just playing. That's how this works. So the reason. Oh, so what happened is I'm at this movie theater. I'm like 17 years old, 18 years old. Me and my friends go to the movies, and in the middle of the movie, the thing it just stops in the middle of the movie and goes blank. Like right, like the middle of the movie stops, and then there's a stage right there. And I was able to walk up, and my friend, a German exchange student, said, "I dare you go tell a joke." And at the time, if you dare me to do something, I'm gonna do it. That's what I do. I'm 17 and I'm a dude. So I went up on the stage, and the only joke I knew was a dirty joke. But me and a friend had made a deal that we wouldn't curse anymore. If he heard me curse, he could hit me in the chest hard as he wanted to, and vice versa. And I didn't want to start what would be later known as MMA. So I went up there and I had to rewrite this joke in my head. And by the time I got on stage, I had it locked and I told this joke, and all these people laughed, and it was amazing. And then they wanted more comedy, but I didn't have any more. So I strategically exited the stage, and then security comes down looking for me to kick me out.
Yeah.
And this lady who I don't even know, this white lady stands up and says, if you kick that young man out, I want my money back. For real. And then these bikers with long hair and tattoos stand up and they say, we want our money back too if you kick him out. And I'm like, oh man, this is like crazy. All these people came to me and gave me all this love just because I gave them a little part of me. And in retrospect, I look back at that and I realized that was actually like God giving me a glimpse of what he called me to do. Not just bring laughter to people, but really bring people together to laugh and for something that's bigger than any of them individually. So
Right.
And that's what I'm doing now. That's why I wrote the book, because it's bigger than just laughter. It's bigger than just an individual. It's really about what can we do together, to make everything so much better for everybody as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all great things. I think we need those to hear those things at this time, because last year was a really long year, and this first quarter of this year is kind of feeling more of the same a little bit. So I think those are valuable things we need to hear.
100%. Absolutely. I fully agree. Yeah.
Tell me about last year being at home with your family. I know you were used to traveling, being on the
The
road.
best. It was the best, like completely the best, like completely and entirely the best. Like I like being home so much, I can't even begin to tell you. Like I just really, really enjoy being at home. Like my kids and my wife, like people always ask me, because I've been all over the country, all over the world, what's your favorite place to go? My favorite place to go is home. Like I just really like being at home with the kids, but I also like being on stage and bringing laughter to people and understanding it as well. But being home is like, whoa, it's all familiar, it's all nice, and the people are kind. It's just awesome. Well, yeah, for the most part, yeah.
So have you gained any more material? Like, has COVID-19 given you a lot of material to work with, or you feel like we're done with that? You're just not even going to go there for your next show?
Yeah, there's a bunch of material there, but it all depends on what city I'm in and how I can best utilize it. Like, I think when I was in Nashville a couple of days ago, I did mention, because there was a lot of people who had masks on, and I wear my mask in public everywhere. I only take it off if I got a sneeze or something. Then do that over everybody. That's the best. That's the sound of a sneeze. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a pretty big sound.
Yeah, it is.
You got to make sure you get all that.
Yeah.
Well, what has it been like being back and performing after having so
it's
much
awesome.
time?
It's really awesome. I don't even feel like I missed, like you would think there would be some more nerves, or not nerves, but just not really sure. I just like people so much, and I know that people want to be out. So the fact that they're out, I'm out, and I can deliver what it is I'm called to deliver, it's like the best. It is so cool. And then when my audiences are there, always sneezing to the microphone too, just so they're comfortable. Just to make people comfortable, really.
Okay. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that one, sneezing to the microphone.
Yeah.
Do you carry your own microphone with you? Or...
Nah, that's unnecessary. Why would I sneeze in my own microphone?
Okay. You got to make sure you use their microphone.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yep.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, I got to quit laughing. All right. Your book. Is there anything you left out? Let's get back to your book.
I'm super pumped about Funny How Life Works. I think people are really going. There's one. I'm not going to spoil some of the stories, but there's one story in there specifically where I was in Sacramento, California, and I'm doing comedy. And whenever I do comedy, what I'm doing on stage is, instead of just, I used to ask the question, how can I get more laughs? Like, what joke can I do to get more laughs? But I changed that question to, what can I give to this audience? So that right there that question doesn't include just laughter. It means, what does this audience need? Because that's ultimately what I want to deliver. So I'm asking, what can I get to this audience? And then I'm doing jokes with laughing. And then I made a couple comments really about life, about understanding how life and comedy are very similar. There's a setup and there's a punchline. Your setup is what you receive, but your punchline is about what you're called to deliver. And if you don't know your punchline, you'll think you need more setup to be fulfilled. If I could just get married, if I could just get a bigger house, if I could just get a raise. So I start talking about that. And then I also start talking about how even your setbacks are part of your setup, so you can truly deliver something amazing. Anyway, so I do that in the middle of the jokes, and I'll do that periodically, different. I never plan what I'm going to say. So after the show, this guy walks up to me. Actually, I'm in the back, and security comes knocking on my green room, and they're like, hey, there's this guy who's really, really, really wants to talk to you. And I just done an autograph line. We were about to leave, but I was like, okay, cool. I'll talk to him. I go out there. There's this white dude, like an Eminem looking dude. He got on a white beater, but he don't got no muscles, so it's like a white threatener. It's not really that big, like he's just a small little dude. Anyway, But you could tell he was high. I thought he was high, but he wasn't high. He'd actually been crying, tearing up, because it's not unusual for people to cry at my events. I mean, it's not really what I'm aiming for, but sometimes laughter is an emotion, so that could happen. Anyway, he says to me, "Hey man, I just really need to talk to you." And like, all tatted up and stuff. And I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" And he pulls me to the side away from the security guards, and he says, and he tells me that he came to my comedy show to get away from all of the pain and the hurt and the fear, and he just wanted to get away for a while. And then I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then he explains to me that he's a fugitive of the law in different states, and he's been hiding out in California for X amount of time, and he came to my comedy show just so he could laugh and get away. And now he wants to know if I would help him turn himself in, so he can deliver, so he can get to the point where he can really deliver what he's called to deliver. I was blown back by that. But the only thing that really happened was I was listening between the gaps. I was saying, what can I give, as opposed to just the default, which is, ooh, what can I do to get this, or what can I do to get that? And I was able to say something in that time. Anyway, that's just one of the stories in the book. There's some pretty outlandish stories in the book, but all of it is true. Like, everything in there is true.
Yeah. There were some really incredible stories. The one about your apartment where you came home from work.
Yeah, and the police officers, 15 police officers busted in my apartment. One of them puts a gun to my head, and it was all bad. But the end of the story is amazing. Like, how do you go from that situation with a gun in like, how do you go from that to suddenly, the end of it is very inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. When I was writing it, I was in tears because I hadn't really realized how it all ended up coming together. Like, it was almost like God was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And now to write it and read it and go from a gun to my head, hammer cocked back, tears coming down my eyes, to what came as a result was pretty amazing. It is funny how life works. Like,
yeah, it is funny how life works. Incredible book. I encourage everybody to go get it. I've been reading it online for the last couple of days. I can't wait to finish it because I love the little short stories. That's what I really like about it.
In fact, you guys can get the book. You can get it anywhere books are sold. But on top of that, if you want to get a chapter, if you just want to get a chapter to check it out because you ain't for sure, like you don't trust us, just go to michaeljerry.com/chapter. I'll send you a free chapter of the book. I think you're really, really going to like the 60 cents in an orange chapter is the one we're going to send them. So
I remember that one. Oh, yeah. Shoveling some snow.
Shoveling snow in Michigan, and what I learned from 9 years old, trying to make some money at 9. So just go to michaeljerry.com/chapter, and we'll send everybody a free chapter. That'd be kind of cool. Or just go buy the book, because all the proceeds from the book, I need people to know this, because there's so much stuff going on in the world. All the proceeds from Funny How Life Works is actually going to a Black family in America.
Oh, wow. So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, great. Thanks you so much for joining us this morning, talking about your book, Funny How Life Works. All right.
Thank you so much, Donna. You're awesome. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, everybody.